with more. Cindy?
Well, Rachel, Carlos Coy showed absolutely no emotion as the judge read the sentence of 45 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Now, at one point, Coy turned around to his family and he mouthed, "I'll be all right." Then he turned away. That's when Judge Mark Ellis called him up to the stand. He literally read him the Right Act.
Mr. Coy, I have spent 17 years in this courthouse, and in that time I've seen more sex offenders than I wish to remember. But one thing I've found over time is that sex offenders have one trait in common, and that is that they are all liars, and you are no exception to that rule. You have lied to your family, you have lied to this court, you have lied to this jury, you've lied to your audience every time you go out there with your positive message, knowing that your life is not as it should be.
Now there's rumors and things going on about people coming out and
about the Pimp C thing?
No, about SPM.
SPM, okay.
Yeah, things about other women coming out and him and
right.
So you said you found out that it was
Man,
true?
I recently just found out some stuff from his own family, and then that's what made me step away. Like, man, what? If you don't, bro, I'm gonna want y'all to take it serious if my sister came forward and said something about me like that, you know? Because your family ain't gonna start speaking out if it ain't true. And his sister, Sylvia Coy, she marched for that man, dog. You know, we all marched for that man. We went from the dope house to the courthouse. We had a whole march. Y'all can look it up online. And we sat there and we led these people to march for this man's freedom.
Green. So we are here fighting for the retrial of my brother.
Retrial, for real. After court, man, we didn't know that we were going to captivate so many minds, man. We were just trying to stop from the circle.
That he was innocent, you know? And, you know, it was a beautiful thing, the first one, man, to see all them people come together for this man. And, you know, it felt good to be a part of this movement. But now to realizing that we all been deceived and we all been misled.
So why do you say you was deceived and misled?
I mean, think about it, man. I mean, if you rocking with somebody for 20 years to later on find out the real truth that this guy swayed the stories, you know, to get people on his side, fuck, man, I've been misled.
So
and then now I'm in position as a leader, and now I'm misleading. So I've been misleading this whole time. You know?
And not believing the victim's voice.
Exactly.
So you found out about other women that was involved with the case? Or?
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, when you start really cracking down, which, you know, shout out to everybody in Cali watching, they brought it up first. They went and dug and pulled out paperwork and stuff, and they brought it to the public eye. But see, what others got to understand is, you way across the country. You know, you think people down here want to hear that stuff from somebody in Cali when...
Separate the actions from the music. Being with a 13-year-old and impregnating her, and making a 9-year-old have sexual dreams, allegedly.
What do you think in Texas, they kind of let it fly?
I don't know why I can't speak on no Texas dude. The sad part about it is we probably gonna see some people from out here making music with the dude.
I just heard about it.
Dog. Fuck Dope House Records.
What do you think his career is gonna be like when he gets out next year?
Man, I hope he makes it, dog, but not over here, dog. I'm gonna slide on him if he over here. I really am, dog. What the fuck? Keep the Texas over there, dog. I don't care if I lose Texas fans. I really don't.
If you make a song with that individual, it's your life.
The show ain't welcome over there in Westmont.
Your water's cut off at the food community.
Are we just denying the fact of what happened? Are we denying the case fact?
A lot of it has to do with they don't want to believe that their favorite rapper did that.
They don't want to believe that somebody of that status that got so much attention for us and numbers actually fucking did something like that.
When y'all attacking Texas all the time, it's always a, you know, them against us, or it's always something, you know what I mean? People not trying to hear what they trying to say, so they're not going to take it in the way if somebody here would talk about it.
Right,
and ain't nobody here talked about it. You know?
Politics, you know, at that point. But now, I mean, the way the industry is now, I mean, everything's coming out. The Me Too movement set everything off.
You know, and it's different from me standing up and somebody actually clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of clout chasers that, you know, and you got to look at these individuals for who they are to understand what a clout chase is. You got to look at their history. Why are they doing it? What's the reason? Because they trying to come up. Me, I have no reason to clout chase. Them Dope House Records was still paying me checks. I got my last check 2 weeks ago. You know, another thing too, it just wasn't his sister, man. It was South Park Mexican himself 2 weeks ago. He was like, everybody's just checking herself off the list. I'm gonna be the most powerful Mexican when I come out. I'm gonna be the biggest Mexican rapper in the world, and da-da-da-da. He was real cocky. And I felt his energy, but I was like, he's like, wait till I come out with the truth. And I'm like, well, what is the truth? What are you talking about? You know what I mean? And then he broke it down and he says, I'm about to come out with the truth, and he still hasn't came out yet. So this is exclusive to the people right now.
Wow.
His story is, I said, well, what is it? And he says, this is the story. That girl's mom told me she was 17 years old, and that made it okay. And then when I dropped her off to school, I didn't go to the front of the building and see the sign of what kind of school it was. I dropped her off in the back. So that's his excuse. You know, this guy, he's always strategizing and writing things. He has nothing but time, you know.
So that's a big difference between 13 and 17, that age, right? So if you go look at the paperwork, does it say she was 13?
It says she was 13.
So how can you flip that and say she was 17?
He's just trying to find a way to justify it because the stripper thing, then obviously it worked all these years, but it ain't working now.
All right. And he said the mom said that she's 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay, that was, the one she had a kid with was 13, but the one he in jail for, see, there was 8 people. Now, I just found this out this week.
What?
So I just found out this week, and I'm like, whoa.
So this is breaking news.
Yeah.
Now, I know you told me it was more people involved.
Right.
Now, let's go on deep dive with that. Explain that a little bit more.
Okay, I haven't went through all the documents, but I feel like I owe it to myself and I owe it to the people. So I had somebody, they haven't done it yet, but I'm trying to get it done this week, where we read these documents to the people, because I feel like we owe this to the people, especially after misleading people, because we have been misled, you know?
So your thoughts on other people going at SPM, like Capone?
Capone, yeah.
Capone, and I saw this other guy.
There's a bunch of them.
Of people going on. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, I once defended South Park Mexican against Capone. He had went on a rampage for months, probably 6 to 8 months, and nobody said anything. And I got tired of it because it was really clout chasing, man. This man was going off every day. But when he mentioned Dope House Records, that's when I hit that trigger and I said, bro, I got to stand up for this.
Got involved.
Because this is something we've been standing up for a long time. So somebody got to say something. So I went on a full rampage on him, you know, and I got a lot of respect for it, from it, you know, from the fans, you know, and even the OGs, because they knew I stood up for what we thought was right at that time.
Right,
you know.
right.
But now they're like, oh, well, now you owe people an apology. And I went on the Cam Capone News. He hasn't released it yet, but yeah, I do give an apology, and I'll say it right now. I apologize to anyone that I ever misled during this movement, you know. And you know, I just apologize to everybody that stood with me on that, you know.
Yeah.
But understand that I did stand in the front lines, and who better, you know, who better than to bring this right now to the light, but besides me, you know, I'm the one who stood in that front line. So if I'm standing up for this right now, and I'm bringing this to the light, I pulled that trigger. Many ain't gonna pull that trigger. When they find out stuff, they still gotta go through that healing. But the person I am, I'm self-motivated, you know, and I pulled that trigger. And as soon as I found out, you know, and you know, another thing y'all gotta understand is I'm like a consultant, I'm like a counselor to all these artists within that foundation. And they all call me on a daily basis. So I was taking in so many energies from everybody. It's like everybody's mad, everybody's going through this healing process, and I'm the one absorbing it all. And so when I jumped out and said what I said it because it was all on my shoulders. And you know, I should have put it in order so people won't feel a certain way. They're like, well, why are you waiting this time? You know, just
right.
Because he messed over this artist or whatever. No, it didn't have nothing to do with that. It just all happened to be bubbling at the same time, you know?
Gotcha.
And that's when I just said, man, I owe it to these fans, but I don't want to be high. Because when you're high, man, when you smoke weed, what you wanna feel sympathy for the man still.
Oh.
Because now you done smoked and you're like, man, poor dude, you know? But nah. So I waited till I was sober
to really think about it.
To really say what I had to say and what was real on my heart, you know what I mean, on my mind, you know what I mean? And that's when I just said, you know, it's over with. I need to let these people know now, you know? And I had been going through 2 weeks of people giving me that energy, all their negative shit and everything they're going through with South Park Mexican. You know, he has not changed. He has no remorse for people. He's still manipulating people and people around him. He suppresses people, his own people, to put them at the bottom. All the OGs that everybody looks up to, he keeps them down at the bottom and feeds them crumbs with their own royalties that he owes them. That's the crazy part. People need to understand that. And yeah, some of the artists, they probably like, fuck it, you know, it don't matter now because they done been through the abuse forever.
Royal Nation TV.
Royal Nation TV, keep it locked.
What's cracking? BKG with it. Oh wow, baby, Royal Nation TV. Royal Nation TV. Royal Nation TV.